off to India next, Charlie. This is a lovely bottle from Amrut Distillery. This is Amrut Fusion. So this is a single malt whiskey. It's made using 100% malted barley. Speaking of barley, the name Fusion comes from the fusion of sort of East meets West. So they've used unpeated Indian barley and combined some peated Scottish barley to hopefully give it a nice smoky twist. Have you tried many Indian whiskies before?
I have, and well, there's not that many available. Paul John, which I hope we'll try in due course. But India drinks more whiskey than any country in the world.
Yeah, by far.
By far. The recent Malt Whisky Yearbook lists of the top 10 whiskey brands, 7 are Indian by volume. And I mean the leading one, Officer's Choice, I think it's called, a blended Indian whiskey, which is, and then I mean, I think Johnny Walker comes at number 3 or 4.
Yeah, surprisingly far down the list. Was it Bagpiper and
that's right,
McDowell's, I think.
McDowell's are in there.
All brands that as Scots we don't see at all.
But you see, and in fact, a lot of the ordinary Indian whiskey is made from molasses alcohol with maybe some in some cases whiskey essence added. But so it's not by international law correctly whiskey.
Correct.
You know, it's I suppose being molasses alcohol, it might be more like a rum. So Amrut single malt whiskey was the first whiskey that proper Indian whiskey that was available in the UK.
Yeah, since 2004, I think the brand
was
established.
Is that right?
Close to 2 decades now.
And I understand that they tested it in Glasgow, in Indian restaurants in Glasgow. Okay. Being a very critical audience with a number of very, very good Indian restaurants. So we'll see. So as you said, the fusion idea is to do with the smoky malt and so it's
peated Scottish barley and unpeated
Indian barley.
I think they don't specify the split. We're not sure if it's 50-50 or if it's predominantly unpeated. But I'm sure
but it is a single malt whiskey without an age statement.
Correct, yeah. Amrut Fusion, I think, comes in several different batches.
Did we talk about what Amrut means?
Amrut is immortality, I think, is the direct translation.
Like that.
And then
an elixir of life.
Yes, which fits well with...
Yeah, it's a similar sort of thing, depending which part of Wikipedia you look at.
Well, if we drink enough of this, we'll live forever. Live forever or die trying.
Yes.
So we'll give it a try. Cheers, Charlie. On the
somewhat grainy, I'm getting Weetabix and brown sugar.
It's a little bit, almost a little bit farmyardy for me on the nose, slightly.
But that I think is that's it's a pleasant farmyardy, but it's straw and it's sort of cereal note. Yeah. I think there's a hint of that heat, but it's not. It doesn't overwhelm at all, not by any stretch. No,
I'm
sticking with porridge and brown sugar.
Okay, let's give this a try. See how much comes through. This is bottled at 50%, so this might be one to play about with a touch of water.
I think the taste actually reflects the nose for me. It's quite lightweight. I think it's quite a young whiskey, this.
I think I was, almost underwhelmed. Obviously, it's a combination of peated and unpeated. I was waiting for the wave of smoke, and it never really came.
Nope,
there was an apologetic whisper of smoke at the end almost. The strength as well, I thought 50% would have a bit more, punch to it. Yeah, what do you think? Did it fall slightly flat?
Frankly, I think I've tasted better Amruts than this one. It's very pleasant. I mean, heavens above, it drinks very well. It's not, with a bit of water actually, a little bit of smoke comes up.
Is there a single malt Scotch that this reminds you of? I wouldn't say it's, I'm not sure if there's anything on Isla that is
it's a long way from Isla. Maybe Benriach They do occasional peated versions,
Yep.
Speyside. That's the only one that I would think that
Was
comes
it
to mind.
the Curiositas, I think they had, was that a 10-year-old?
I think that's right.
A few years back. Yeah, I know what you mean. It feels like a whiskey that isn't usually peated that's trying to be peated. Whereas, you know, with your Lafroigs, Ardbegs, Lagavulin, its smokiness is in its DNA and always will be.
I mean, it's a very pleasant whiskey, but you know, I don't think it delivers what it promises, to be honest.
I think it's a whiskey that's got a great reputation. I know they do a range called Spectrum, which is hugely sought after, something like a big sherried whiskey. The Fusion, whether potentially we've got an underwhelming batch, as I say, there is that, you know, maybe perhaps a slight batch variation through the years. But it's okay.
It's very difficult to know what to drink with curry. And the obvious choice would be sort of Indian beer or sort of lager type beer. But that beer sort of fills your belly. And quite frankly, whiskey and water, very dilute, is the best. I had elderly friends who'd been brought up in India, and they used to have a curry every now and again on a Sunday, which took days to prepare. And they drank brandy and soda or whiskey and water.
Like a whiskey highball.
Yeah, exactly. Sort of thing. Okay. Exactly. And that was the way they had drunk it in India. And this would be perfect to accompany a curry. You know, either with soda or with ice and diluted down water. Yeah, it's a very pleasant whiskey, but
I think it's something there. It's not. I wouldn't say it's simple or, you know, underwhelming, but it's something there, but it's not quite there.
Exactly. It's very, very well made, but it's not terribly exciting. But that's the point, I suppose.
Yeah. So if it gets drowned out by a nice spicy lambu.
Now you're talking. I'm feeling quite hungry, actually.
Time for lunch, I think, Charlie. It's an okay whiskey, but perhaps didn't deliver on its potential.
I think so.
Yeah. Oh well, never. Can't win them all.
Great. No, you can't win them all, but it's very nice. Anyway.